You think you're doing everything right in your relationship. You're patient, you're attentive. You give her everything she says she wants. But here's the brutal truth that most men can't stomach. Everything you're doing is the reason she's pulling away. The more you try to please her, the more you push her further from you. What if I told you that your deepest desires, your craving for love, intimacy, and approval, are the very thing that's being used to control you? What if I told you that she knows exactly how to push your buttons, how to keep you addicted to her affection, all while keeping you in the dark about the game she's playing? You're not failing in the way you think. She's manipulating your desires, turning them into tools of control, and you don't even see it. In today's video, we're going to dive into how women your desire to control the relationship. It's a game that few men recognize until it's too late. And I'm going to reveal the shocking truth about how your own longing is the weapon that keeps you in this cycle of constant craving, while she holds all the power. The question is, are you ready to face the truth and break free? Now that you've begun to understand that your efforts aren't the solution, it's time to delve into the real root of the issue, your desires. Every man has them, craving connection, affection, intimacy. These desires are powerful forces that drive our actions, our decisions, and ultimately, our relationships. But here's the truth that most men miss. Desire isn't just a natural part of who you are. It can be manipulated. And once you understand how, you'll see just how much control your deepest cravings can actually give to the woman you care about. Desire, in relationships, can often be seen as a weakness. It's the part of you that you think makes you more human, more connected to your partner. It's that raw, primal need to feel wanted, needed, loved. But what if I told you that this very thing, the desire to connect, to feel appreciated, to be sexually desired, could be weaponized against you? What if the very thing that drives you to give more, to be patient, to invest everything into the relationship, is also the very thing that keeps you enslaved in a cycle of wanting more? It's not just about feeling loved or desired. It's about being controlled through those feelings. Imagine your deepest cravings being played like an instrument. She knows exactly what to say, when to pull away, and when to give just enough to keep you coming back. She knows that your desire for approval, your need for affection, will drive you to constantly perform. It's not that she doesn't care about you. It's that she understands how to use your own needs as a tool. She becomes the puppet master, and you, the puppet. Desire becomes the currency of control in the relationship. It's not about power in the traditional sense. No one's yelling or fighting for dominance, but rather, it's about emotional manipulation. Your desire for validation, for intimacy, becomes the thing she holds over your head. You start to believe that the more you give her, your time, your love, your efforts, the more she will reciprocate, the closer you'll get. But that's not the reality. The closer you get, the more you push for affection, the more she starts to pull back. Think about it. Every time you start to get too comfortable, too confident in the relationship, she pulls away. She pulls back emotionally. Maybe she's less affectionate, more distant. Maybe she starts acting cold or unavailable. You, feeling that shift, begin to chase again, desperately seeking her attention, her validation. This is exactly what she wants. She wants to see you chase, to see you work for it. The cycle begins anew, and you're stuck in a loop, constantly striving to get back to that place where you feel loved, validated, needed. You're in pursuit, and she's got you exactly where she wants you. And then there's sex. For most men, sex is the ultimate connection, the ultimate act of intimacy. But for her, sex is more than just pleasure. Yes, it can be about desire and connection, but in this dynamic, sex can also be used as a tool to make you chase. When she withholds intimacy, when she holds sex over your head, you feel the intense craving, the growing desire, and the more you crave it, the more power she has over you. This is where the game is played. Every time she withholds affection, every time she pulls back sexually, she knows she's triggering that desire in you. And that desire is a trap. The more you chase, the more she gets to control the emotional dynamic of the relationship. It's not about the act of love. It's about the control she gains over your emotions and your responses. She becomes the keeper of your satisfaction, and you become dependent on her to fill that void. Now, you might be thinking, but that's not manipulation, right? She's just going through her own things, or she's not in the mood. But here's the kicker. This is the manipulation. It's not about whether she's moody or busy. It's about using your desire to create emotional dependence. And this is where you have to wake up to the truth. Every time you accept that her affection comes with conditions, every time you allow her to control your emotional highs and lows with her attention, you're giving away your power. You're falling deeper into the trap she set for you. Understanding this and recognizing the manipulation is the first step in regaining control. It's time to stop chasing something that's not giving back to you. But before you can break free from this cycle, you need to see the game for what it is. Desire isn't the issue. How it's being used against you is. And that's where the next step comes in, reclaiming your power. But first, you need to understand why your emotional dependence has kept you stuck in this loop. Now that you've understood how your own desires can be weaponized against you, it's time to examine the real mechanics behind this manipulation. Women don't always use overt power plays to control you, but rather, they master the art of subtlety. They know that the most potent tool they can wield isn't physical strength or dominance, but your emotional investment, specifically, your desire. And it's not just about getting what they want in the moment. It's about creating a cycle of emotional dependency that keeps you hooked, forever trying to please and earn their affection. The truth is, women can control your relationship with a simple game of emotional push and pull, and they do it by exploiting your desires. It all starts innocently enough. At first, she'll give you just enough affection to keep you hooked. You're not getting everything, but you're getting something, and that feels like a win. She may shower you with small moments of intimacy, affectionate words, physical touch, brief moments of closeness, but only enough to ignite that need within you for more. You crave that attention, that validation, and when she gives it, you feel a rush of accomplishment, as if you're winning the game. But what's really happening is that you're being trained, slowly and subtly, to perform for her approval. Every time she pulls away and you chase, every time she withholds affection and you try harder to earn it, the dynamic shifts, and she becomes the one with the power. This is the cycle of desire and control. She pulls away just enough to make you feel like you're losing her, but never enough to completely break the bond. The fear of losing her, of not being enough, becomes a constant undertone in your relationship. It keeps you on edge, always performing, always chasing, always needing her approval. This isn't love, it's emotional manipulation. Every time you feel like you're about to lose her, she pulls you back in, just enough to keep you hanging on. You begin to think that if you just try a little harder, give a little more, then she'll give you what you really want. But it never comes. The affection, the validation, the intimacy you crave is always just out of reach, keeping you stuck in a cycle of endless effort and emotional need. But it doesn't stop there. The real weapon in this dynamic is sex. Let's face it, sex is powerful. It's the ultimate form of connection. But for some women, it's also the ultimate form of control. The longer she withholds intimacy, the more you crave it. The more you crave it, the more power she gains. She knows that sex isn't just about pleasure for us, for you. It's about validation, emotional connection, and needing her. She's aware of your desire, and she knows how to manipulate it to get what she wants from you. Every time she pulls back sexually, every time she isn't in the mood or gives you just enough to keep you wanting more, she reasserts control over you. You begin to believe that if you perform better, if you make her feel more loved, then she will reward you with the intimacy you've been craving. But the intimacy never feels enough, and the cycle continues. This pattern isn't just about sex or affection. It's about emotional dependence. She knows that your worth, your sense of security, starts to revolve around her actions. The more she makes you need her, the more she controls the dynamic of the relationship. She becomes the gatekeeper to your emotional highs and lows, to your sense of validation and fulfillment. Every time you feel a rush of love and affection from her, you feel like you're winning. But when she withdraws, that rush becomes an emotional void that you desperately try to fill. You need her validation more than you need anything else, and she knows it. It's a power struggle disguised as affection, a game disguised as love. She doesn't always have to play hard to get. She just has to get you to chase, to perform, to prove yourself. She knows that your deepest desires for love, connection, and intimacy can be used to keep you locked in a cycle of emotional dependence, constantly striving, constantly working for the next bit of affection. And as long as you're stuck in this cycle, she's the one holding the reins of the relationship, while you're the one desperately trying to keep up. Breaking free from this isn't easy. It requires acknowledging the pattern and understanding that your desires don't define your worth. The more you chase her approval, the more you allow her to control your emotions. It's time to stop performing, stop begging for validation, and start reasserting your own value in the relationship. When you understand that your desires are powerful, but shouldn't be used as tools for manipulation, you'll be able to break free from this cycle. At this point, you might be starting to understand the game she's playing, but there's something even deeper at work here, a hidden psychology that makes this manipulation not only effective, but nearly impossible to break free from without awareness. The cycle of desire and control isn't just about affection or sex. It taps into something much more primal and deeply ingrained in your psychology: emotional dependence. Every time she pulls away, even for a short time, she triggers something inside you that makes you feel emotionally unsafe. It's like a warning signal in your brain telling you that something is missing, that something is wrong. You feel the need to fix it, to fill that emotional void. And that's when the game begins to shift. She's not just pulling away for a few hours or a day. She's creating an emotional gap that you'll try to fill by chasing her attention, her affection, and her validation. The more you crave it, the more she gets to decide when, how, and how much she gives it to you. In a way, she becomes the gatekeeper to your emotional stability, whether she realizes it or not. This creates an emotional dependence that keeps you tied to her, always performing, always working for her approval, but never fully satisfied. It's a psychological trap. You believe that without her attention, without her validation, you're incomplete or not worthy. This is exactly what she wants. Because when you start believing that your worth is tied to her actions, she knows she's got you hooked. Every time you start feeling worthy again, she'll pull back just enough to make you feel like you're losing her, pushing you right back into the cycle of needing her validation once more. But here's the dangerous part. You may not even realize it's happening. In fact, most men don't. That's why this psychological manipulation works so well. She doesn't need to openly control you. She simply needs to subtly reinforce this pattern, making you believe that her attention, her affection, her love is what defines your value. As long as you accept this idea, you will remain dependent on her to feel good about yourself, to feel loved, and to feel emotionally safe. You'll keep chasing because you think you're incomplete without her approval, not realizing that your emotional dependence is the very thing that's holding you back from real freedom in the relationship. The illusion of love and validation is a key tool in this psychological game. She might tell you she loves you, that you're the one for her, but her actions tell a different story. They tell you that you're being kept on a string, that your emotional highs and lows are completely controlled by her, and that your sense of self-worth is determined by her actions. You might not see it, but you're the one performing for her validation, and she's the one in control of whether or not you feel loved. This is the hidden psychology of the game, a silent dance of emotional manipulation that keeps you stuck in a never-ending cycle of longing, performing, and chasing. Now that you've identified the psychological game at play, it's time to take control and break free from the cycle of emotional manipulation. The first step in this process is realizing that your desires, those deep cravings for affection and validation, are powerful, but they should never define your sense of worth. Your worth should not depend on her affection or approval, and that's the foundation you need to rebuild. It's essential to detach your emotional security from her actions. You've been conditioned to believe that her attention is a reflection of your value, but in reality, your value comes from within, not from her validation. The hardest part is accepting that you are emotionally dependent on her without even realizing it. But this dependency is the very thing keeping you trapped in the cycle. The moment you acknowledge this truth, you begin to reclaim your power. Start by focusing on your own emotional needs and growth. This means prioritizing your personal development, your goals, your passions, and your journey. When you focus on yourself and stop relying on her for emotional fulfillment, you start to take back control of your own happiness. It's about becoming emotionally independent, no longer needing her to complete you. You are already whole. Next, setting boundaries is a critical step in breaking free. It's not just about physical boundaries, but emotional boundaries as well. The key is to stop allowing her to manipulate your feelings by using your desires against you. This means recognizing when she is withholding affection or pulling away to keep you hooked, and not letting that affect your self-worth. You have to remind yourself that you deserve respect, emotional stability, and reciprocity in the relationship. When she withholds affection or tries to control the emotional dynamic, it's time to step back and protect your emotional well-being. Don't chase after something that's being used to control you. Establish boundaries and stand firm in them. To truly break free, you need to shift your mindset. Recognize that love and affection should be freely given, not earned through performance or emotional dependence. When you stop seeking approval and start focusing on your own growth, your own emotional stability, you will begin to shift the power dynamic. She will sense the change. And here's the truth. When you stop performing for her attention, when you stop allowing your desires to be the tool for her control, you'll start attracting the right kind of love into your life. You will stop settling for emotional manipulation and start demanding healthy, reciprocal relationships. Breaking free from this cycle is a process, but the more you reinforce your boundaries, the more you validate yourself, and the more you stop seeking external validation, the less power she will have over you. You are no longer a prisoner to your desires. You become the person in control, and only then can you have the relationship you truly deserve, one built on mutual respect, understanding, and emotional independence. Now that you have a clear understanding of the psychological game and how your desires have been used to control the relationship, it's time to take back your power. Remember, your desires are powerful forces, but they should never be the chains that bind you. Recognize the patterns that have kept you trapped in a cycle of emotional dependence. Realize that you don't need anyone's approval, especially not her, to validate your worth. Your value doesn't come from the affection you receive. It comes from within, from the confidence you have in yourself and your own growth. To break free from the cycle, you must start practicing emotional independence. Focus on your own path, your goals, and your development. When you stop seeking external validation and start validating yourself, you'll no longer be dependent on her love or approval. You'll stop performing for her attention, and that's when the power dynamic will shift in your favor. You will begin to attract healthier, more balanced relationships, where your needs are just as important as hers. Relationships are a two-way street. Affection, respect, and love must be freely given, not something you earn by constantly chasing or performing. So, here's the truth. Your desires can be your greatest strength, but only when you are in control of them. When you stop allowing them to be manipulated, you regain your emotional freedom. You don't need to chase someone's affection to feel loved or worthy. The moment you stand firm in your boundaries and focus on your own emotional health and growth, you'll see how much easier it becomes to live a life on your own terms. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Drop a comment below with your thoughts. Have you ever felt like your desires were being used against you? Let's start a conversation. In the next video, we'll talk about how to harness your desires in a way that attracts the right type of woman without losing yourself. Stay tuned.